Hello everyone and welcome back. So today's video is just going to be my very quick August favourites. I don't actually have as many products here because I've decided to stop putting in all the little junk that makes my videos 40 something minutes long. So I truly have the things in here that were either new or things that were truly my favourites this month. Anyway, I'm just going to get started. I'm going to show you the products in no particular order. They will also be listed in the description box down below, and yeah. So if you're interested in seeing the things I loved for the month of August, then just keep watching. I have a new foundation here and it is the Rimmel Wake Me Up. I tried this in one of my Get Ready With Me's and I quite like it. So this is basically a really nice everyday foundation. It looks super skin-like, it's super smooth, it doesn't look heavy and dry, but it gives enough coverage to where it really evens the skin out, and really once I have put my concealer on and blend it down, none of my redness comes through. So that's what I really like about this foundation. It gave me a really nice healthy glow and it covers really well. I like applying this with a brush or a sponge. Something I like is I actually like to apply it with a brush, and then when it's nearly dry just blend a little bit, or even just grab my clean sponge and just sort of smooth it out, and that is one of my favorite ways to apply this. So I tend to have pretty good experiences with Rimmel foundations. I really like the Lasting Finish 25-hour one, and I really like the Match Perfection. The only thing I absolutely hate is the colour range. I have the colour 100 Ivory in all three foundations, and all three are a different tone. And this is extremely dark, so I pretty much only use this when I'm self-tan because I really cannot get this to work for me very much when I'm pale, because I need to mix so much of a white foundation in with it that there's no point in wearing it. But it does match me really nicely when I am tanned, and I do actually really like it. I'm gonna go through my second foundation favourite for the month. However, this is not new, and this is literally like a complete turnaround from last month. It is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I'm wearing it right now, and I have actually begun to love this foundation. So basically, I've started baking. That is another favourite for this month. I've started baking. So I actually use these little puffs that come with some of the powders. Now I don't use the ones that are like fluffy, like almost like a brush. I use these ones which are like latex sponge type of material. I actually use these. For years I haven't wanted to bake because my sponge would literally just absorb all my powder. Like, it just wouldn't work. And then I was watching Taylor, I was watching one of her videos last week, and she mentioned how if she bakes, which she rarely does, but if she does, she uses a dry sponge. And then it dawned on me that I actually had one of these laying around because I thought I'd thrown all these out. That's why I was a little bit skeptical. And then it dawned on me I had one of these, and I tried it, and it's so much better. Anyway, moving on to the foundation. So since I've been baking, this foundation has looked amazing and it has lasted so well. So I will put this on with a brush, and then I will grab my sponge, put my concealer on, and then I let my face sit for about a minute, just to let everything kind of melt together, set down, see if I need coverage anywhere. Usually I do around the scars on my chin. And then once I basically built up the coverage, I will go in, and first off I will start under my eyes because my eyes crease really bad. So I will grab my sponge and I will literally dip this in the powder, bounce my sponge to remove any creasing, and then immediately go in and start baking with this. And I have found it has made a huge difference to the way my makeup looks. It's made a huge difference to the way my makeup lasts, and it's just incredible. My foundation has not been oxidizing at all. I pretty much bake my entire face. There are some times with like the Matte and Poreless and a few other foundations I don't do down here. But if I'm using something like Dermacol, Rimmel Match Perfection, if I was using this foundation, I would bake my entire face. But since I started baking, I can use this foundation again. I wore it the other day and I put it on at about 10 AM. And I was at TAFE from 12:30 to 4, and I finally took my makeup off at about 7 PM, and my makeup was still pretty much perfectly there. I was a little bit oily, but really if I was going to go out, all I needed to do was add a tiny little bit of powder and I would have been good to go. So it's making my makeup last. It does not make my face look dry like I was worried it was going to be, and it removes a little bit of coverage from my chin and my nose, but I can just get a little bit of like a skin tone powder, bounce it on my nose and my chin, and I'm fine. So it's making this foundation last, it's making me able to use it, and I quite like it again. So this has turned into my everyday foundation again. Sorry if it's looking a bit bright, it's actually really cloudy because it's been raining and then some of the clouds are disappearing, some of them are coming back, so I'm sorry. I have an item that's not makeup, and these are the Nature's Way Slim Right Skinny Gummies, if you can see that. Basically, I have started eating 2 of these a day. You can take up to 4. I only take 2. These are weight loss gummies. So basically, I take one first thing of the morning. I eat one before I do anything. And then I eat one of a night time just before I clean my teeth and stuff like that. So basically, it's a little lolly that's got garcina. I can't pronounce that, I think. It's basically, it boosts your metabolism. It's also got a appetite suppressant, and it activates your fat burning. So basically I have started to eat these to kind of aid my body in losing weight, because my body loses weight on its own but nowhere near as quickly as like a normal person because of my thyroid. So I was talking to the chemist and he recommended these to see if it would just something that would just help, and I really think it has. I think it's really boosted my metabolism and things like that. I really noticed a difference in the first like 3 or 4 days. My wrists and things like that are looking a lot smaller. I don't have as much fat around my arms anymore. Basically I think in the first 3 or 4 days it really like boosted my metabolism, and I got rid of a lot of my excess like fluid retention because I was peeing like anything. So I have noticed a difference with taking these. It says natural raspberry flavour, so I was a little bit skeptical. They actually taste really nice, and the best thing as well is they're only $15 a bottle, so it's not like I am spending a huge amount. Because I only take 2 a day, they can last me up to a month. And yeah, they're easy to chew. They're little gummies, so they're easy to chew. They don't smell bad. They don't taste bad. And yeah, I actually really like these. So I've got the Mini Star Blush, Bronzer and Highlighter palette. This is supposed to be a contour palette, but clearly the colour is not made for contour. I bought this on Wish just because I have never bought a blush. I've never bought something that's a 3-in-1. I've got a contour kit from Australis, but that's contour and like highlight shades. And I shattered the highlighter, so it's more contour and under eye powder shades, and it's starting to get a bit too old. So I didn't care if it was not a contour palette, like this is definitely a bronzer, but I actually really like this. I was expecting it to be a little bit dry, patchy, not really able to blend just because it was so cheap. But I read the reviews and everything just said it was super creamy, pigmented, it blended really well. And I tried this again in one of my Get Ready With Me's and I actually love it. I actually really like it. Now the bronzer I can't use as much when I'm really fair. I use it more when I'm tan, but the blush is just a beautiful colour. I don't really have anything that's this colour. This is like a really dark, muted rosy colour, and I don't have anything like it. And the highlighter is actually surprisingly really nice. It's not the best highlighter I've ever used. It's slightly chunky, but it still works really well, and I am not embarrassed to be wearing it. But all the colours, they blend really well. The bronzer and the blush are super matte. They actually blend really well. I've actually used the bronzer and I've actually used these on my eyes before as well, and they blend amazingly well. I've got 2 brow products here. The first one is a pencil. This one I just bought on Wish, literally just because I thought it matched me, and I've been wanting to try a pencil for ages. So as you guys know, I use the E.l.f. brow kit or pomade, things like that. I have never really used a pencil. I've had pencils before, but I got an angled brush and like swiped it on the top and put it on with the brush. So it's kind of pointless to have a pencil. So I decided to buy a cheap pencil that I don't care if I ruin or break it or whatever, to try and teach myself to do my brows. Now I've got my E.l.f. brow kit on today just because I needed it to be in a little bit more of a hurry, and I have no idea why it's looking super patchy right there. I think I'm getting a really big pimple right there. It feels like it, so I apologise for that patchy bit right there, but I can't get it to cover. So basically this is the Non-You Eyebrow Pencil in shade 3. Now I do need to put a powder over this just because the colour is a little bit too green for me. Basically this is one of the angled ones, and when I first got it I drew it on the back of my hand and it seemed to be super dry and horrible, and I thought this is going to be absolutely terrible. I'm not going to be able to use this at all. But I was surprised. I actually can use this. It's going to take me a little bit longer to get used to being able to just put it on. I really have to clean up my brows with like concealer when I use this, but it's working. Sorry if it looks a bit dark. I've had to turn my exposure down and the notch, it was almost too bright. This one might be a bit too dark, so I'm sorry. I don't know why I look super oily because I'm actually not. The second brow product is the Australis Hold 'em Up Brow Taming Pomade. Now I did try this in a Get Ready With Me as well, and I wasn't sure if this was like a brow gel or what. So when I pulled it out, it is like a white, or it's not so white anymore. It's basically like a really thick, creamy brow gel, and I didn't actually think I needed a brow gel till I started using this. Well, I don't need a brow gel, but I've bought this for my mum for Mother's Day thinking it was a mascara, and it's a brow gel. She doesn't even put anything in her brow, so it's pointless to give it to her. So I started using this and it's amazing. Like it dries matte, like super matte. So the e.l.f. brow kit that I used, the gel is really glossy, and sometimes I might accidentally leave a bit that I don't get the powder on. This like really makes it look really nice. My brows don't go crunchy, they don't go like stiff. It doesn't feel like I have a brow gel on at all. It's really lightweight. I've used this with the pencil that I've used here. I've used this with my pomade, and I actually really like it. So this is one of my favorite brow gels. I hope they still sell it because that would suck really bad if I just found it, really like it, and they don't sell it anymore. I have another product here that I actually hated months ago, but I actually really like it now. This is the highlight I'm wearing today. It's the OXX Highlighting Palette thing. So basically I have the little pinky cream colour mixed with the yellow on my cheeks today. As you can see, it's got a gorgeous glow. It's on the tip of my nose, it's on my chin, it's on my forehead as well. So looking at me, this is not all oil, this is highlight. These were a gorgeous formula and they were amazing. Super smooth, creamy and everything, but it looked like it was silver on my face. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys. I think I did in a couple of my like regret videos, and this looked freaking silver, and I was literally about to throw this out because it was taking up space that I didn't want, and I thought I'd try it today and it actually freaking works. These again, like the Maybelline foundation, I have found a way to use them and they surprised me. I've got the Benefix Paw Paw Ointment here. Now this is basically like the cheap version of the Lucas Paw Paw cream. I have a tube of this everywhere. This is the tube that stays in my makeup stand. I have one in my handbag, I have one in my car, I have one at my dad's, and I freaking love this. This has to be the best lip balm I've ever used in my life. Now I've been using this stuff for years, but this has to be the best lip balm I've ever used. Cleaning my teeth makes my teeth... Cleaning my teeth makes my lips so dry. I think that's why I don't mind a really dry liquid lipstick, because at the end of the day, my lips don't go as dry wearing this liquid lipstick than they do when I clean my teeth. Like, it's to the point where it gets painful. All toothpaste dries my lips out really bad, and I'm sure it does to everyone else. But that's what happens. And if I don't a lip balm on after I clean my teeth, then I will literally get it like chunky skin that's patchy and peeling off, and like I have to pull it off, otherwise it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and then when I pull it off it bleeds. Like, that's just how bad it gets. So I've been putting this on every morning, every night, and all the time. Basically, if I don't have a lip product on, like if I don't have a visible lipstick, lip gloss or anything on, this is on my lips. So if I look like I got my natural lip color on in a video or something with just a bit of a shine, it's this. This is amazing. Like, yeah, I actually ended up throwing out all my other lip balms I ever had, and I only use this now. I have the Nivea Creme Care Facial Cleansing Wipes that I had in my haul video. I decided to open one of the packets and try them this month, and I actually really like these. They are actually a super dry towel, but they take my makeup off so well. The only thing they don't remove the best is my eyebrow product and my liquid lipsticks. So I will get a little bit of micellar water or liquid makeup remover and I'll remove my liquid lipstick and my brow product. Other than that, they remove nearly everything else. Sometimes if I have a huge amount of mascara on, I will need to go over with like my Purity cleanser, but these actually work really well. They smell exactly like the tub of cream that's in this blue packaging as well. So they smell like that. They're super gentle on my face. I actually really like these. If I have no makeup on and I just need to like, say I have no makeup on at all and then I've like already washed my face in that for the day and I go and do my workout and I get like really hot and sweaty and I don't quite want to commit to washing my face again because I know I'm going to have a shower tonight, I will just use one of these. Like these are ones I can use to just touch up my face throughout the day and just sort of refresh my face throughout the day. There are some that I can't do that because it either just creates a film on my face or it burns or whatever. I can only use them as makeup remover, but that's why I don't use micellar water like that, because no matter what brand I use it always creates that film. But I can do that with these. They don't dry my skin out, but they also don't leave like a real weird layer of anything on my face. They don't burn. They actually just remove everything really, really well, and I like them. I like them that much that when I was at Aldi like 3 days ago, I actually came across another one of their double packets, because that's where I got these. They were on for another half price, again, because they were sold the week before. So I picked up another packet, so I've now got like 3.5 packets of makeup wipes. Now I have two products that are in sort of my regrets portion of this video, because I really am on the fence about both of them. They both work, but I don't know if they are quite enough for me to be able to put in my favorites video. So the first one is the Australis Halo palette that I have. This is in the name Idolise. Now this definitely works as an eyeshadow palette. The colours blend, they look really nice on my eyes, they're really nice, but they just didn't live up to the expectation that I had for them. I expected Australis products at the price that they sell them to be. I expected them to be a hell of a lot more creamy, pigmented, really just soft and things like that. Now these work, they're pigmented, but particularly this dark shade, I have to really, really work with them to get them to blend to look nice. Otherwise, it does look a little bit patchy. They tend to not want to adhere to the inside of my crease, like around here. I don't have these shades on my eyes today. And they're super, super dry. The two shimmery shades are a little bit better. And the white, that's actually the best white I've ever used. It's mostly just these two. This one I don't really blend. I usually just use it on my inner corner, so I don't need to really blend. But they're just super dry. This shade, if you use it on its own, the shimmer disappears. If I put a base under it, it's like, it's not shimmery enough to have like a Maybelline colour tattoo underneath. It makes it look more matte, but then it's not like shimmery enough to be able to hold it on its own. I've tried Fix Plus, I've tried my finger. If I just use this, like say if I'd wanted to just put this on my lid right now, within 10 minutes like it would be, the shimmer would be disappeared. But if I put a Maybelline colour tattoo underneath, it almost mattifies it, so it just, there's no point. This shade's actually really nice. I only use this on my lower lashes. I haven't used this on my lid yet. But they work, the palette works, I can get a nice look with it. I just have to work a little bit harder. The shades are pretty dry, and it just didn't live up to the huge expectation that I had. And my last product is the M.A.C Select Cover Concealer in NC15. Now I like this because it covers things, it brightens and things like that. It doesn't look too dry. However, it just sometimes looks a bit funny. On the very inner corners of my face right here, I have a lot of little bumps and texture. That's why I tend to bake as well nowadays, because it doesn't emphasize that. And as my natural oils come through, it all just sort of melts in one. And it looks really nice. Today, because I didn't bake, I just set under my eyes with a powder. That texture is a little bit more amplified. Also, given the fact I had my sunglasses on, that doesn't help at all. However, no matter how I apply this concealer, no matter whether I bake with it, no matter whether I apply it with a brush, a sponge, my finger, no matter whether I have eye cream underneath, no eye cream, my face lotion as my eye cream, no matter what, it looks really dry. That's the only thing. It emphasizes that texture right there, and I can go full day without wearing sunglasses, without wearing any glasses, and like I said, I can bake, I can not bake. Doesn't matter what brush I use, what sponge I use, it doesn't matter. It just looks really dry under my eyes. That's the only thing. It emphasizes that texture, and it seems to emphasize some on my outer corners of my eyes. I don't have crow's feet, I just have these little bumps out there because I used to get eczema on the corners of my eyes, of all places, and it just sometimes emphasizes that. It doesn't tend to want to sit on my nose either. But other than that, it's actually really nice. So that was my favourites and regrets for the month of August. I hope the video wasn't too long. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if I rambled a little bit. Check out all these products in the description box down below, as well as my social media sites. Hit the subscribe button that's in the corner down there, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!